Okay, so for week 7 of fall anime, I want to start this week off just to talk about a new anime I've been watching, Akudama Drive. And I started watching this so late because I heard so many good things. Like they're like it's unexpectedly good. It's like a sleeper. So yeah, I slept on it. Now I watched all 7 episodes so far. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the show takes place in Kansai. It's like a futuristic cyberpunk city. It's very polluted, but there's a lot of future technology. They have like augmented reality on the streets and just a bunch of like cool highways and air travel, etc. So we start off with this girl. She seems to be our main character, and she exits her day job and she goes to eat some takoyaki from a stand. Also, there's a dude in a motorcycle that's also eating takoyaki, and then he drops a 500 yen coin. And then the main girl, she wants to return it to him, but he's like, nah, drop money is bad luck. And he looks pretty cool. He has like a motorcycle. And so then, yeah, he refuses to take the money and heads out. And while the girl gets her takoyaki, she realizes that the stand is a cash only place and she only has electronic payments, but she doesn't want to spend the 500 yen the dude gave her. So the takoyaki woman calls the police and now she gets arrested. So our main girl is now in the Kansai police station. So yeah, after this unfortunate turn of events, inside of the station there's a bunch of Akudama that just attack, and we meet all these new characters that seem to be our main cast. So it's the dude in a motorcycle, his name is Courier. There's a nurse lady with like big titties and some revealing dress. Her name is Doctor. There's a brawler with dreads. His name is Brawler. And there's a short blonde guy with gadgets, and he's Hacker. So then they meet the girl, and then they try to kill her. And then she's all scared, but convinces them that she's actually the Swindler. So yeah, our main girl turns into like a criminal joining this organization just to avoid being killed. And then yeah, she just goes with the flow. There's also another character, Hoodlum, who's like a wannabe criminal, and he has like a 4-year prison sentence, while the other dudes have like 700, 100, 200 plus prison year sentences. So yeah, these are the Akudama. And an Akudama is basically just like a criminal mercenary for hire. They just do whatever they want outside of the law, and they're all like very wanted by the police. And all these guys are converging into the police station because they have $100 million mission, and that is to rescue Cutthroat, who's another Akudama, and he's being executed today. And he also has a 967 prison year sentence. So yeah, cool fight scene happens. All the Akudama fight these prison robots and security. Courier has a bunch of plasma lasers in his motorcycle. Brawler can just beat people up. Doctor, she can heal all her wounds, so if she looks like she's dead, she can basically just resurrect herself. The short girl tries to like run off and help people from the sides, but she's obviously way out of her league. So yeah, they rescue Cutthroat. He's like a murderer with knives, kind of like a Joker character, but he's all white, with white hair and just white skin, and he can just decapitate people pretty quickly. So then they rescue him, and they all get these Suicide Squad collars put onto them by this cat. So this black cat is their mission leader, and he orders them to go on another mission. And they'll get paid more, but yeah, their mission is not over. So all these people, the main girl, Swindler, also involved, have to now attack this cargo train. And it has like a high security plasma type shield, so it's going to be a hard mission. So far the series has a good setup where it's just like this girl gets dragged into this high stakes mission with a bunch of Akudama. She doesn't have any combat abilities, but she has a good main character heart. It reminds me a lot of Decadence from last summer, where it's just like a main adventurous girl just gets sucked into a world that's like beyond her understanding, but she adapts to it pretty quickly. So yeah, cool parallels there. Also, very Suicide Squad-y, where all these guys have unique powers, but we don't really know too much of their backstories yet. They're just thrown at us. And they have like some mission together where they don't even know each other, but yeah, they're doing the mission together. So also we get some lore about the city. Kansai, it was separated into 3 parts, poor, middle, rich. But then there was a war between the Kanto region, and then Kanto basically dropped a bomb onto Kansai. It's kind of like a North Korea, South Korea situation. There's like an absolute quarantine zone where it's just like a nuclear fallout place. There's a lot of like electric showers and you can't breathe in the air. So yeah, that's the lore between the two cities. There was a war, and now the city is rebuilt, and Kanto looks like the superior city. It's like described as like a utopia. So then, while the Akudama are planning their train heist, there's two executioners that come in, and executioners are basically special police that are very badass and are sent to just kill criminals. And their character design is really cool, where they wear these white military coats. They fight kind of hand to hand, but they also have these lightsaber sword weapons. Most of the character design in the show is just amazing, just unique. Like everyone has like a unique dress or leather jacket or setup that describes what class they are. So yeah, the two executioners wearing suits come. It's basically a dude with a mask who's like a pretty cool fighting captain. And then there's also a girl wearing a skirt and leggings. She's also pretty cool, but then she's a little inexperienced. She's like the apprentice. So yeah, they both fight pretty well. They beat up most of the Akudama. They cut up Doctor. She looks like she's dead, but yeah, she heals herself. They knock out Cutthroat from the top of the building. And it looks like he's dead, but he's still alive. And then Courier comes in with his motorcycle and he just plasma beams the whole building, and then it helps the Akudama escape. So yeah, the executioners are there just to set up how badass they are, and they seem to be the parallel side to fight the evil Akudama. They start their plan to steal a vault from the cargo train. Swindler also clutches out on these missions to help them press the button at the same time. So yeah, show's pretty fun to watch. It's just like, it's not super deep. It's just like fun missions happening over and over, and the cyberpunk Suicide Squad feel just makes it so fun to consume. It's just like, yeah, these guys are going on missions. They have some goal that's gonna be revealed soon, but besides that, it's just like good action and characters. The executioners come onto the train, so there's now a fight between the executioners and the Akudama. Courier, Brawler, Doctor, and Cutthroat try to fight off the executioners. And yeah, just to summarize how cool some of these fights can be, there's one where Swindler shoots a gun at the executioner, and the executioner dodges the bullet, and the bullet hits Brawler. And then Brawler actually catches the bullet in his teeth and shoots it back at the executioner. So there's like some impromptu synergy going on between these guys. Just like the fight scenes are very cool. It's pretty even, but then the numbers of the Akudama just overtake the executioners. They separate the train car. So yeah, inside of the train, there's the vault that they were supposed to pick up. They open it, and inside of it are two kids. And these kids seem to be like kind of special experiment type of kids. And yeah, so they give them a part 2 of the mission to have them go back to the Kansai region and get them to Expo City. So yeah, Hacker is pretty bored of his life, so he decides to take the train to Kanto instead of going back to Kansai with everyone else. Like, he takes his bomb collar off with his hacking skills, and he gives a gadget to Swindler. Hacker leaves, and the rest of the Akudama make their way to Kansai again. Also, the two executioners that fell back in the quarantine zone get rescued, and now they're in a hospital. They get suspended for failing twice to capture the Akudama, which kind of angers them a bit. They feel like, oh, they could have done more. So yeah, I like how it makes us care about the good guys and the bad guys in the show. So then the kids do get experimented on. We get a bit of their backstory. A bunch of them in some room, and like every day the kids get experimented on, trying to like make him immortal. And yeah, they sacrifice basically 2,500 kids' lives to like instill like this immortal juice into him. So yeah, that's their experiment. And then his sister also has like the immortal power. So basically them combined have 5,000 sacrificed kids that resulted in their immortality. And yeah, they're basically shipping immortal kids into the Kanto region for some unknown purpose. And then there's like a PSA for all executioners to capture these guys. They have 100 mil bounty on their heads, so yeah, it's pretty tough for the Akudama right now. Also, the executioner, he leaves his hospital bed, and he fights everyone. He tries to solo all the Akudama, and he's like very injured, but he's still very tough. They all try to run away, and then now it's just him and Brawler one-on-one. And then yeah, they kind of have a killing hit on each other, and they both die. The executioner's partner, she comes through. So sad seeing her sensei die. And then she loses her eye from the hoodlum. He was pretty close to the Brawler, so he stabbed her in the eye. So now she might have like a badass mission of revenge right now. So then after that, the kids go to Expo City, and we find out there's like a spaceship going to the moon. So these kids want to go to the moon just to avoid being on Earth where all the experiments are, and then their lives are, and they're living on the sacrifice of a bunch of children's lives. But then the doctor, she's a double agent, so she calls up all the executioners, so most of the Akudama try to fight. And then the main kid, the boy, he sacrifices himself, and he pushes Swindler and the little sister into the spaceship. So now we end off episode 7 with them going to space, while all the other Akudama are fighting the executioners. So yeah, we will see what happens. Very interesting cyberpunk type of world with just like a unique story. 100% reminds me of Decadence. Swindler as a character, she's very nice and funny and just like a typical type of girl main character that just like tries to do good. So yeah, we'll see where her character development goes. Okay, so for Jujutsu Kaisen episode 8, very cool episode this week because we meet some new characters. So it's like their inter-school tournament, and the Kyoto school goes to haze the Tokyo school. So Mai, she's the twin sister of Maki, and Todo, who's like this big buff, just like tall guy who takes his shirt off. And then he asks Megumi what type of girl he likes, because this is how he judges people. If they like a boring type of girl, then he'll beat them up. So then Todo admits he likes tall girls with big butts. Good choice from him, very cultured individual. And then Megumi answers girls with good personality. So obviously that's the most boring classic answer you can give, so they start scrapping. Todo kind of just suplexes Megumi, gives him the German suplex, a bunch of punches. And yeah, he's pretty strong. I think he's like one of the top 4th year students. He can solo special grade spirits, and he fought a bunch of just top class spirits. Megumi brings out a frog fusion with the Nue. So a new Shikigami by him, just a bunch of frogs that can tie up his enemies. But yeah, he can't really fight off Todo, but then he gets saved by Panda and Inomaki. Also, Nobara fights off Mai. Nobara, with the help of Maki, sneaks up on her and then just like chokes her out. We get a reveal that both the sisters are pretty weak. They're like kind of like garbage rejects. And then yeah, they admit it. So Mai, her weapon is like a revolver. She can imbue her cursed powers into other objects. She can't directly attack anything. She has to first imbue her power into other objects. And then Maki can't use curses at all, so that's a big reveal. She fights with like cursed weapons, like weapons that already have cursed energy in them. But yeah, she can't use powers in general. And she can't even see curses without wearing her glasses. So very big character reveals there. And Maki wants to fight curses just so she can prove her family wrong. She can just counter all the haters and say that she made it. So yeah, both sisters have their own motivations. A new villain comes through. His name is Geto, and Yuji will probably scrap with him coming up. Okay, so for Sports Climbing Girls, episode 8. Sayo comes through in the second round. She one-shots 2 walls, but in the second wall she hurts her middle finger. It's like a light tear, but it needs like a few weeks of rest to fully heal. But she's still continuing to climb. On the third wall, she gets a timeout just because she's in so much pain. And in the fourth wall, she realizes that she shouldn't fail here, or else her school will have a big disadvantage in the next round. So she perseveres through the pain. She sees Nonika trying to cheer for her. And then all the girls try to cheer for her to make her do better. And yeah, it's like the whole gymnasium is just like yelling for Sayo to finish climbing. So yeah, she goes through with it, perseveres through her injury. But then yeah, Goto Juzo tells the audience that yeah, you can climb with an injury, but you shouldn't overexert yourself or else that will be a long-lasting problem. Also, Chinari, the spider lady, beats all 4 problems easily. And so does Masumin. Yeah, she's the Black Panther lady. She's a bit insecure, but her team comes in to support her. Chinari takes like a intimidation technique on Konomi. Nonika tells Sayo to drop out because of her injury, so Konomi is the last remaining Hanayama girl. So in the finals, Fujita, the Black Panther lady, she speed climbs to the top. Just like a panther, she kind of skips a bunch of steps and just like jumps to the top. Konomi comes through, but she slips and falls. To the shock of everyone, yeah, she's last place. Fujita wins first place, Chinari second place, and the zombie climber Nijima third place. So yeah, Konomi's problem was that she knew the right moves, but she couldn't execute it just because the competition environment got her off her game. I guess they don't want the audience to just have the girls succeed in their first or second competition. They want them to train and work hard for the big one. After that, she doesn't give up. She just wants to climb more. So the next day, she goes with her club mates in school. And then Sayo and Nonoka tell her that June wants to take a break from the club because she has some type of mental weakness in her game. So she wants to train by herself to overcome it. Konomi's kind of sad that June ditched the club. But yeah, it's for the best. And then yeah, they all want to fix their own weaknesses. So then they could go to the combined Japanese high school cup in 6 months together. So we have a final goal that's being reached. So Nonoko will fix her weaknesses to make sure she can climb any type of walls. Konomi will get more used to the tournament atmosphere. So yeah, a big L for Hanayama School, but hey, the girls are going to be back at it again on the Japanese Cup. Okay, so for Tonikaku Kawaii, episode 8, this was a pretty nice, quick romance episode where we got some plot details and some other stuff. So yeah, Tsukasa and Nasa go visit the parents. Nasa's parents are just how you expect. They're exactly like him, very insecure and awkward individuals, and they're pretty scared of Tsukasa, but they try to get some one-on-one time with her, try to ask her stuff. The dad actually gets alone time with her, and then he doesn't know what to say. But then yeah, he thanks her for saving Nasa a few years ago. So the parents really love Tsukasa. The mom actually looks a lot like Nasa with the purple hair. Cool reunion with everyone. We see the weird parents and Nasa just like hanging out. Also, Tsukasa is exploring all the environments. Nasa's dad's actually an archaeologist, so he has a lot of historical documents. And Tsukasa, this is like a big reveal on her past. She can read like this ancient 1,000-year-old language. She like knows what happens in history, like who actually fought and lived here. So yeah, Tsukasa's like probably some type of moon spirit, or maybe she's actually like the moon. Like, you know, NASA, Tsukasa, like Suki in Japanese means moon, so yeah, NASA going to the moon is like, it writes itself, the puns, but yeah. And then they go back home, their apartment is burned, so they'll have to find a new place to live. Okay, so for Noblesse, episode 7. This episode was pretty interesting. It was more of a slice of life high school comedy. And I really like the contrast between action and high school life. It adds more personality to the characters and the setting, but also makes it kind of weird seeing these just like evil vampires just integrating into normal society. So Takeyo and Tao, the two dudes from the union, they become security guards in the high school. So now there's just these 3 tall Bishi security guards, and all the ladies are fawning over them. And this episode focuses on Yusuke trying to get with Sarah. He wants to go out with her, but he's very inept at trying to ask a girl if she likes him. So the whole squad try to get together to find ways to get Sarah and Yusuke to hook up. They have ideas like make a love letter. Yeah, none of them work. There's like a basketball scene where Yusuke tries to flex on basketball to get her attention, but all the other dudes upstage him. So yeah, very funny episode with just the random love plot line. So Yusuke also asks Regis to help him since Regis and Sarah are pretty close to each other at all times. The reason for this is that they have the same path. They follow the same path no matter what. After all of these slice of life vibes, there becomes a serious moment in the end. It got a little sad. Rai tells Yusuke and Manabu he's gonna erase their memories, and he did it before. So they don't remember all the evil shit that they were fighting. And yeah, all the stuff about the Noblesse, they don't need to know about that anymore. I thought we went through this adventure together, but no. Their memory gets erased. So yeah, it shows the Noblesse's goal where they don't want humanity to know they exist, but they do want to help them in the back. Their memories get erased and their life at school continues. So cool slice of life feel this episode with a little sadness at the end. A new arc will probably show up, one where Regis and Sarah's masters that sent them on this mission, they're trying to wonder why they don't have any information back, so that's probably the next plot point. Okay, so for Higurashi When They Cry, episode 8. We finished the Mion arc. It starts off in the school where Rika is missing. Last episode, Rika got all crazy and scary at Keiichi, but now she's missing. So all the school kids and teachers look for her. They cannot find her. Mion actually asks Keiichi to look at the roof for her, so he climbs the ladder to look at the roof. There's no one there. And then Mion shakes the ladder. She looks all crazy, saying how it's not her fault. She's blaming someone else for what happened. We don't know what's happening, but yeah, Keiichi's just trying to hold on for dear life while Mion is doing all of this. She turns back into normal, and the day continues. So then Mion tells Keiichi that the townspeople know that he went into the storehouse during the Watanagashi festival, and he might be the next target for being killed. And she tells him that people are using the Oyashiro-sama curse as an excuse to murder people. So the murders are being done by this family. She blames Rika's family for doing it. We get some lore where there were 3 heads of the town, and then the 3 families kind of regulated each other, but then 2 of the families fell a little bit, so it's only 1 family on top now. And yeah, Mion blames Rika's family. She also tells Keiichi to come into her house, and she just leads Keiichi into this dungeon. It's so kind of creepy that Keiichi's going along with this. And it's so funny that Mion is basically gaslighting Keiichi. She's like, oh, it's your fault you went into the storehouse, but I will protect you, so just follow me. Like Keiichi just going along with it. Yeah, it's my fault. I need to go down here to be protected. And yeah, Mion basically tells Keiichi to stay in this locked cell. It's very secure, and she'll come back for him. So yeah, Mion also takes out a gun, and she goes outside. It sounds like there's people invading her house. So after that, Keiichi is locked into the cell. He's kind of frustrated, so he shoulder tackles the cell door and somehow breaks it. But then he knocks himself out trying to break through the main door. He gets rescued by the detective Oishi, and we get the rundown on what happened in this arc. So Mion basically killed Satoko, and it was revealed that Mion might have been the one that killed Rika too. So Rika wasn't evil. It was Mion that was evil this arc, and yeah, literally everyone died. She killed Shion as well, and I think her father or uncle. So yeah, this arc, Mion was the evil one, and everyone died, bad end. Keiichi is alive, but he just doesn't know what to do. So I'm assuming next episode we get maybe some Satoko arc, where she's the evil one. Yeah, so we sum up the Mion arc. It wasn't as good as the Rena arc, but yeah, more story being developed as we go through the mystery of Higurashi. Okay, so for the Wandering Witch episode 8, this was a very weird episode. I think the weirdest episode we had of the Wandering Witch so far. It features the Night Witch Sheila. So she's kind of like a blonde, smoking, pretty like hot witch, and she's trying to investigate a mystery of the Ripper, who seems to be like a ghostly rumored figure in this town that just randomly does stuff like cuts people's hair and kidnaps them. Also, all the people in this town have these dolls that look strangely realistic. So Elena comes through and she kind of helps Shayla discover what the Ripper really is. Elena looks at a doll store, and there's like a doll maker who is pretty creepy, and she likes Elena's white hair. So Elena goes to her hotel room at night and sleeps, and she realizes that her long hair gets cut into short hair. So yeah, we get short-haired Elena, for those of you who are looking for it. There it is. Short-haired Elena's pretty cool, but she's angry that, oh, someone took her hair, and realizes that the doll stole her hair. So she gets some information on the dolls, that they're actually being sold on the black market. So her and Shayla go to the black market to discover who's selling these dolls and why. Elena finds the dolls. She calls out the doll maker in the black market auction, and they scrap. But then the doll maker is no match for Elena. They're both witches, but yeah, Elena's so gifted and just angry that her hair was cut off. And yeah, the doll maker is a very crazy person. She like seems to be like a masochist, and the doll maker gets arrested. We get some other scene with Saya confronting the doll maker because Shayla and Saya are both part of the same magic association. So yeah, you'll never know what we'll get with this anime. Okay, so for DanMachi episode 8, I'll go through it very quickly. Basically, Belle convinces everyone Uine is his prey, so don't attack her, only I can. So yeah, he invokes that right of hunting his own prey. So that's how he covers his ass while trying to be sympathetic to the monsters. So then yeah, he chases Uine, he tries to rescue her, but she's like thrashing around the city. So yeah, she eventually gets killed by some of these dudes, but then Fells, the skeleton mage, he resurrects Uine. I think he turns back the clock or something. So Uine, with her tragic death scene, gets resurrected and is now alive and normal. Yeah, pretty lame kind of finish for that. Just, yeah, Uine gets killed, but then yeah, we get baited and she's alive again. So I don't really know the point of this arc yet, but yeah, interesting episode. So for The Day I Became a God, episode 7. This was also a quick slice of life episode. Yota's sister, she has a movie project, and this is her second movie project, so she finishes the script and then she hires Yota and Odin to be the main characters, and all the other cast members are there to offer support and just hang out. So yeah, there's some cool Odin and Yota development happening. But yeah, after all of that, there's the hacker guy that appeared from episode 3. So yeah, we'll probably get Odin backstory next episode. And yeah, we have 6 days till the end of the world.